you've done everything right. You got the degrees, you've read the books. Heck, you're probably the smartest person in most rooms you walk into. So why hasn't your bank account gotten the memo? Today, we're going to dissect that one nagging question that haunts every intelligent person who feels like they've been left behind. And there it is. Ouch. That question, it's not just a snarky comment, is it? It's that cold, hard reality check that can make all those accolades feel like just expensive wallpaper. It's the central, frustrating paradox we are going to solve right now. All right, let's just dive right in. For years, we've been sold this idea, a really convenient lie actually, that pure intelligence is the golden ticket. That if you just have a high enough IQ, success isn't just possible, it's practically guaranteed. Well, that's a dangerous myth. The truth? The world is a graveyard of brilliant ideas from people who were outlasted, not outsmarted. So if raw brain power isn't the whole equation, what is? To find the answer, we gotta look at two very different people who cracked two very different parts of the code. First up, let's talk about the brains of the operation, specifically the strategic brain of a guy named Edward Thorp. Now, Thorp was a math professor, an academic. You know, the kind of guy that Wall Street traders and Vegas casino bosses would just laugh at. But he decided to answer their jokes not with words, but with cold, hard numbers. Just picture this for a second. A kind of nerdy professor walks into a flashy Vegas casino. To the guys running the floor, he looked like lunch. They probably thought he was about to lose his savings. What they didn't know was that he had already cracked the code of blackjack. See, he wasn't gambling. He was running an equation. He proved that when you apply pure mathematics, luck is just another variable you can bring under your control. And the results, they were absolutely undeniable. In just 30 hours, he turned 10 grand into 21,000. Now, this wasn't some lucky streak. This was a proof of concept. And that right there is the first half of our equation. You have to have a strategic edge. You have to know the game better than anyone else at the table. But Thorp's biggest discovery wasn't in the cards at all. It was in watching everyone else. He saw smart people, really smart people, losing everything, every single day. And why? Because they let fear and greed drive their decisions. They had the brains, sure, but they threw their own logic out the window the second things got emotional. He actually had a name for it, lemming brains syndrome. You know, that primal instinct to just follow the crowd, even when the crowd is sprinting full speed towards a cliff. Thorp realized the real edge wasn't just knowing the math, it was having the discipline to stick to it when your lizard brain is screaming at you to panic. Wealth, he proved, is an optimization problem, not an emotional one. But here's the thing. A brilliant strategy is totally useless without the fuel to actually execute it. Think of your intelligence like a Ferrari engine. It's powerful, it's fast, it's top of the line. But stamina is the fuel tank. And a Ferrari with an empty tank, well, it goes absolutely nowhere. And this brings us to the second, and you could argue, much harder part of the equation. So let's shift gears to our second figure. For this, we're going to turn to the philosophy of NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang, a man who deeply understands that the hardest battles you fight aren't with your competitors, they're with yourself. Man, this quote, it cuts right to the bone, doesn't it? Huang knows that in the long game of building something that actually matters, intelligence just gets you a ticket to the starting line. It's your capacity for suffering, your ability to endure that slow, grinding pain when there's no end in sight. That's what actually gets you across the finish line. And this right here, this is the real enemy. It's not the massive, spectacular failure that breaks people. It's the quiet desperation of an ordinary Tuesday. Nothing is wrong, nothing is broken, nothing is urgent. And that's exactly why you're drifting. It's the soul-crushing exhaustion from doing repetitive, invisible work that just chips away at your will. If you can't learn to coexist with that feeling, you will quit long before your breakthrough ever shows up. And here's the crucial part. Real endurance isn't just about gritting your teeth and taking it. It's about making decisions and adapting while your heart's not in it. We always wait to feel motivated, but success doesn't show up after the suffering ends. It's born from the choices you make while you're still in the thick of it. So now we have both pieces of the puzzle. You see, it was never just about being smart, and it was never just about having guts. It's a multiplier effect. It's the two of them working together. Think about it. Thorp's rational strategy without Huang's endurance is just a brilliant plan collecting dust on a shelf. And Huang's relentless stamina without Thorp's strategy, that's just grinding away on the wrong problem. burning fuel just to go in circles. Brains find the edge and keep you rational. Guts make you endure the grind and act when it hurts. One without the other is a perfect recipe for failure. Now, developing this kind of stamina, it has a social cost. When you start setting boundaries to protect your energy for that long grind, some people are going to walk away. But listen closely. They don't leave because you're a worse person. They leave because you are no longer useful to them. So when someone drifts away as you start respecting yourself, don't mourn it. They didn't lose you. They just lost access.
Which brings us to the ultimate goal here. Because if you can master this equation, the prize isn't what you think it is. It isn't about getting rich just to buy more stuff. The real prize is something so much more valuable.
Real wealth isn't the car or the house or the fancy watch. It's the quiet freedom of waking up in the morning and not being forced to do work that you hate. It's having the time and the options to focus on your family, your health, the things that truly matter to you. It's about refusing to lose stupidly, protecting what you've built instead of just mindlessly chasing more. And this is the fundamental shift in mindset. The fake rich, the people trapped in that lemming brain syndrome, they're obsessed with the short term. They're nervously checking the scoreboard every single day. The truly wealthy, they're playing a completely different game. They ask a much calmer, much more powerful question, and then they make their choices today based on that answer. Because your fate isn't some fixed thing written in the stars. It breathes, it changes with the hidden intentions behind what you do in this very moment. You have absolute freedom right now to change the direction of your inner compass. Stop watering those old toxic seeds, start nurturing new ones. That is how you take back control of your own destiny. So I'll leave you with this question. Forget about the grand heroic gestures. What is that one small, grinding, ordinary Tuesday task that if you just did it consistently could completely change your next 10 years? Let me know in the comments below. I'd really love to see what you're working on. I look forward to seeing you again soon, exploring more of these ordinary things that happen every day, but are, well, very much worth thinking about. Oh, and one last thing. For more explainers like this, check out our playlist. It's perfect for when you're driving or relaxing or just need someone to listen to. The link's right there in the description. Thanks, everyone. See you next time.